Welcome back to the Foundry by Forge College. So if you've been following along with us, you know we've been building out some incredibly robust access control components. But let's be real, having a bunch of top-tier, ultra-secure parts just sitting in isolation on your workbench doesn't really do us much good until they're actually put together, right? So today, we're diving into the ultimate explainer for the final assembly phase of smart contract security. This is exactly where we take all of our hard work and finally weld it together into one cohesive, uncrackable engine. Here is our blueprint table of contents for today. First up, the final assembly. Second, merge, compile, and test. Third, proving it actually works. Fourth, the static analysis draft. And finally, getting it ready for handoff. Okay, let's dive right into this. Part 1, the final assembly. Now, a quick clarification before we get moving. You can actually go ahead and put your creative hats away for this one. We are absolutely not doing any new design work today. The heavy lifting of figuring out what to build, that's already done. Right now, we're simply synthesizing. We're mapping the territory we've already explored into a final unified layout without breaking anything in the process. We're pulling straight from our integration design docs, our access flow diagrams, and the actual code we've implemented to create one single coherent artifact. And to get there, we follow a super strict 6-stage process. We merge and compile, we test, we instrument our code to provide hard evidence, we document, we draft our analysis, and finally, we hook the whole shebang up to a CI pipeline. Now look, I know exactly what you're thinking. Nobody wakes up and naturally loves doing documentation. But let me tell you a little secret. These 6 stages of rigorous quality assurance, they are exactly what separate a professional Web3 engineer from someone who just gets completely wrecked and watches millions of dollars drain out of their brand new protocol. Discipline here literally pays off massively. Moving on to part 2, merge, compile, and test. It's time to head to the factory floor and tighten the bolts. So when we're putting these top-level components together, like our role manager and upgrade guards, we have to test them. But not all tests are created equal, right? Ad hoc manual checks are kind of like a shaky, unreliable hand. They will absolutely fail you when you need them the most. Instead, we want deterministic continuous integration, or CI tests. Think of your CI pipeline as an ironclad, completely unbribable robot factory inspector. It enforces the rules the exact same way every single time. In security, we heavily prefer deterministic assertions because human error is, without a doubt, the ultimate enemy of a secure protocol. And speaking of deterministic processes, a successful compile of our Capstone contract has to be completely reproducible. We don't just stare at the terminal and go, well, looks good to me. No way. We capture our build logs directly into a file to definitively prove to any future auditors that there were 0 fatal errors during the build process. As we're compiling and testing, we have to verify what's called our security integration points. This is the precise location in the code where a policy anchor, a rule we designed earlier, meets an actionable enforcement test. Every single security integration point that we mapped out previously must now be tied directly to actual test evidence. It's just not enough to say, hey, only the admin can do this. We have to point to the exact line of code that enforces that rule and the exact test that proves the lock actually works when someone tries to pick it.
Which brings us to part 3, proving it actually works. Let's grab our inspector's clipboard.
Now, what's really interesting about this is that the absolute secret to rigorous validation is traceability. If you've explored other learning paths with us at Forge College, you'll know we talk about this a lot. Traceability is the unbroken chain linking your original design artifacts to specific code locations, straight through to passing test evidence. When a third-party auditor reviews your protocol, they shouldn't have to guess how something works. Traceability does the explaining for them, pulling them right along the chain of evidence. To establish that traceability, our integration test report has a few bare minimum requirements. We need representative test snippets that provide solid, deterministic proof. At a minimum, we have to prove 3 distinct things. Positive access enforcement, meaning the right person is granted access. Negative access enforcement, meaning the wrong person gets a hard, undeniable rejection. And finally, an upgrade path test, proving that the system can actually be securely updated in the future without breaking any of those rules. All right, over to the drafting table for part 4, the static analysis draft. Now, we need to write the static analysis draft document, and this draft has 3 mandatory sections. First up, the methods used, meaning, did we use unit tests, integration tests, or manual checks? Second, a summary of findings, detailing the guards that passed and any warnings we observed. And third, prioritized open issues. Honestly, this last one is absolutely critical. This is where we flag ambiguous touchpoints, things like complex role inheritance or potential reentrancy risks. We're doing this specifically for the automated static analysis tools that will scan the code later. We are essentially handing the robots a treasure map of exactly where to look.
So, the crucial point here is this. Reproducible evidence reduces review friction. By clearly linking to specific lines of code, providing exact test names, and offering reproducible logs, you completely eliminate the guesswork. It makes the security reviewer's job infinitely easier and way faster.
Part 5, ready for handoff. The engine is built, tested, and boxed up. Time for the final checklist. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we mean by a clean handoff. Everything must be neatly organized into a single deliverable structure. The integrated contract is exactly where it belongs, compiling perfectly. The integration tests are isolated in their proper folder, and they're all passing. The security integration document is totally complete. A static analysis reviewer can pick this whole package up without an ounce of ambiguity. Everything has a place, and everything is in its place.
But before you ship it, I have a challenge for you. Is your handoff completely reproducible from a fresh clone? Don't just assume it works because it runs fine on your local machine. It works on my machine, our famous last words in Web3. Test your own instructions, delete the folder, pull a fresh clone from the repository, and follow your own setup guide. Make absolutely sure that the exact toolchain versions and node environments are specified so that anyone, anywhere can replicate your exact results.
And that officially wraps up the final assembly. Next time, we're going to unleash automated static analysis tools on the beautiful, well-documented repository you just built. Now, to dive deeper into the subject and really advance your Web3 learning across all of our comprehensive programs, I highly encourage you to visit forge.college. There is always more to learn with us. But I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. If a top-tier auditor looked at your current smart contract repository right this very second, would your documentation prove your code is totally secure, or would it just prove you were in a rush? Keep building securely, and we'll see you in the next one.